Welcome to Job Bridges Japanese Language Training Center. We provide an online tutorial for people who aspires to work in Japan. Before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep you updated on our lessons to help you master Japanese language in no time. Konnichiwa, hello. Welcome back to lesson 12 of Job Bridges Japanese Language video tutorial. And again, we have Sedi.
Konnichiwa, minasan, Sedi desu.
For lesson 12, let's first discuss the past tense of noun sentences and na adjectives. Again, these are the past tenses of noun sentences and na adjectives. So just like verbs and adjectives, noun sentences and na adjective sentences also have their own tenses. So for example, for the non-past or the present future affirmative, we have ame desu or shizuka desu. You just have to add desu at the end of the sentence. While for the past positive or past affirmative, you just have to add deshita at the end of the sentence instead of desu because it is already in the past. Now for the present negative or future negative, instead of using desu, we add ja arimasen or dewa arimasen. And then for the past negative, instead of using usually the desu, we add ja arimasen deshita or dewa arimasen deshita. So, for the present future affirmative for shizuka, we have shizuka desu. And for the past affirmative, we have shizuka deshita. For the present or future negative, we have shizuka ja arimasen or shizuka dewa arimasen. And then for the past negative, we have shizuka ja arimasen deshita or shizuka dewa arimasen deshita. Always refer to the table that I provided you for easy studying. Now let's take a look at the sentence example. Kino wa ame deshita. Again, kino wa ame deshita, or it was rainy yesterday. Since we're talking about yesterday, we use deshita at the end of the sentence instead of des. Now, next example. Kino no shiken wa kantan ja arimasen deshita. Again, kino no shiken wa kantan ja arimasen deshita. Yesterday's exam was not easy. So, since we're talking about yesterday's exam, and then that exam being not easy, we will use the kantan ja arimasen deshita form of the kantan instead of des. Now, Seth, can you give me some example sentences using the topic that I've discussed?
Kyonen no tenki wa kumori deshita.
Or in English?
Last year's weather was cloudy.
Very good. Now, can you give me another one?
That movie was not famous. Ano eiga wa yomi ja arimasu. That movie was not famous. Ano eiga wa yomi ja arimasen deshita.
Very good, Cedric. So notice how he used kumori deshita as a past tense because he was talking about last year, and how he used the yume ja arimasen deshita because he was saying that the movie was not famous. Now, for the past tense of adjective sentences, we have, alright, so for the non-past, present, future affirmative, you just have to add des to the adjective, while for the past affirmative, you just have to add kata des. So in this one, you have to remove the last e and then add kata des. Just like what we've discussed in lesson 8 or 9. And then for the present future negative, drop the last e of the adjective and then add kunai desu. So in atsui, it becomes atsu kunai desu. And then for the past negative, it will become atsukuna-katta desu. Now look at the examples. Kino wa atsukatta desu. So it was hot yesterday. And then the next example. Kino no party wa amari tanoshiku nakatta desu. Or I did not enjoy yesterday's party very much. Note how I used atsukatta at the first example because we are talking that it was hot yesterday, which is a past tense. And then for the tanoshiku nakatta desu, I use the past negative because we are talking about yesterday's party, which was not enjoyable. Now said, can you give me some examples using this or the past tense of adjective sentences?
Keiki wa amakatta desu. The cake was sweet.
Alright. Next.
Nimotsu wa omoku nakatta desu. The luggage was not heavy.
Alright. So note how he used the amakatta desu because he was talking about the cake being sweet, or a past tense that the cake was sweet. And when he said that the luggage was, okay, noting that it was in the past tense and not heavy, he used the omoku nakatta desu. Wakarimashita, everyone? I hope you do. Now, another sentence pattern that is important for you to learn in Japanese language is Noun 1 wa N2 yori adj.です. Again, Noun 1 wa N2 yori adj.です. So this sentence pattern describes the quality and or the state of Noun 1 in comparison with Noun 2. So yes, in this sentence pattern, we are already starting to compare Noun 1 with Noun 2. So look at this example. Kono kuruma wa ano kuruma yori ouki desu. Again, kono kuruma wa ano kuruma yori ouki desu. Or this car is bigger than that car. Now the trick to this sentence pattern is whatever your adjective is, whatever you're trying to say, bigger, smaller, faster, more enjoyable, more famous, okay, always remember that Noun 1 is always the winner of that adjective compared to Noun 2. Alright? Now said, can you give me an example using N1 wa N2 yori adj.です?
Haru wa aki yori atatakai desu.
Again,
Haru wa aki yori atatakai desu.
which translates into
Spring is warmer than autumn.
Alright, very good, Cedric. So note how he said that haru wa, which is his noun 1, aki, noun 2 yori, atatakai desu. So he said that spring is warmer than autumn. So N1 is his spring because that is warmer than N2, which is aki or autumn. Very good, Cedric. Now, minasang, listen to this question pattern and then the answer to that question pattern. So, we have noun 1 to, noun 2 to, dochira ga adjective desu ka? Again, noun 1 to, noun 2 to, dochira ga adjective desu ka? And then, when answering that question pattern, you either answer with N1 or N2, whichever is your answer, no hou ga adjective desu. Again, N1 or N2, whichever of the two you choose, no hou ga adjective desu. So the question asks the listener to choose between two items, which is the noun 1 and noun 2. Then the interrogative use is always dochira if the comparison is made within the two items. Again, you are asking your listener to choose between noun 1 and noun 2. That's why the answer should either be noun 1 or noun 2, whichever is chosen, no hou ga adjective desu. So you have to repeat the adjective again here. Take a look at the example. Saka to yakyū to dochira ga omoshiroi desu ka? Again, saka to yakyū to dochira ga omoshiroi desu ka? Which is more interesting, baseball or football? So saka to, yakyū to are the two items that you're asking your listener to choose in between. Now, if the listener chooses saka, the answer would be like this. Saka no hou ga omoshiroi desu. Again, saka no hou ga omoshiroi desu. Or football is more interesting. So he or she chooses your noun 1, then adding the no hou ga plus the adjective that we use, which is the omoshiroi den desu. Now, Cedric, I have a question. Butaniku to gyuniku to dochira ga oishii desu ka? Again, butaniku to gyuniku to dochira ga oishii desu ka?
Gyuniku no hou ga oishii desu.
Now, I asked Cedric which is more delicious, the pork or beef, and his answer being Yuniku no hou ga oishii desu, which means he chooses beef. Now, Cedric, could you ask me a question using the noun 1 to, noun 2, dochira ga adjective desu ka?
Sensei, kohi to ocha to dochira ga ii desu ka?
Or in English, which means,
which do you prefer, coffee or tea?
and of course, my forever answer will be kohi no hou ga ii desu. Again, kohi no hou ga ii desu, or I prefer coffee. And here are the other examples wherein you could use the noun 1 to, noun 2 to, dochira ga adjective desu ka. Okay, so first example, Mira-san to Santo-san to dochira ga tenisu ga jousu desu ka? Again, Mira-san to Santo-san to dochira ga tenisu ga jousu desu ka? Or who is better tennis player, Mr. Miller or Mr. Santos? Another example for this sentence pattern is Hokkaido to Osaka to dochira ga suzushi desu ka? Again, Hokkaido to Osaka to dochira ga suzushi desu ka? Or which is cooler, Hokkaido or Osaka? And then last example, Haru to Aki to dochira ga suki desu ka? Again, Haru to Aki to dochira ga suki desu ka? Or which do you prefer, spring or autumn? For this question, my answer would be Aki no hou ga suki desu. Again, Aki no hou ga suki desu, or I prefer autumn. Alright guys, we're already on the last sentence pattern for lesson 12. So you have to listen carefully with this one. So it's noun 1, no naka de. So the no naka, you can or may not use it. So again, noun 1 no naka de, either nani, doko, dare, or itsu ga ichibang adjective desu ka? Again, noun 1 no naka de or noun 1 de, then the interrogative, which could be nani, doko, dare, itsu ga ichibang adjective desu ka? And then if you want to answer, or if you've been questioned using this sentence pattern, you answer with noun 2 ga ichibang adjective desu. Again, noun 2 ga ichibang adjective desu. So this question pattern is used to ask the listener to choose something that is the most with whatever adjective has been used. So the choice is made from the group or category denoted by the noun 1. The interrogative is decided by the kind of category from which the choice is made. So that's why you could have either nani, doko, dare if it is a person, itsu if it is a place, and so on. And then again, this question pattern is asking the listener to choose something that is the most of whatever that adjective is. So, the most delicious, the most prettiest, or the prettiest. What else? Your favorite, and so on. Because ichibang means the most. So, if someone asks you ichibang ski, that means your favorite. Now, let's take a look at the examples for you to better understand this sentence pattern. Nihon ryori no naka de nani ga ichibang oishii desu ka? Again, Nihon ryori no naka de nani ga ichibang oishii desu ka? Or among the Japanese dishes, what is the most delicious? And again, the sentence pattern for the answer is noun to ga ichibang adjective desu. Or in this case, tempura ga ichibang oishii desu. Again, tempura ga, which is the noun to, ichibang oishii desu. Or tempura is the most delicious. Another example. Ichinen de itsu ga ichibang samui desu ka? Again, ichinen de itsu ga ichibang samui desu ka? Or when is the coldest time of the year? Ichibang samui means the coldest. So, the answer is nigatsu ga ichibang samui desu. Nigatsu ga ichibang samui desu. Or, it's coldest in February. Now guys, listen to me and Sed's conversation and then translate it after. Sed, Philippine ryori no naka de nani ga ichibang oishii desu ka? Again, Philippine ryori no naka de nani ga ichibang oishii desu ka?
Shinigang ga ichiban oishii desu.
What did I ask Sid and what was his answer? Now Sid, can you please ask me any question you have in mind using this sentence pattern?
Anime kyarakata no naka de dare ga ichibang suki desu ka?
Anime character ichibang suki ka na? Shingeki no Kyojin no Levi Ackerman ga ichibang suki desu. So, what did Sid ask me and what was my answer? Surprise activity! Now guys, I've prepared a few sentences in English wherein you are responsible in translating them into Japanese. Don't worry, all of these sentences are what we've discussed in Lesson 12. If you want to know the correct answers, check out at the description below. No peeking! Alright, that's just it for today. See you on our next videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to keep you updated on our lessons so you can master Japanese language in no time.
Mata ne!